The Seattle Seahawks are getting reinforcements at the cornerback position despite having great play from rookie Tariq Woolen. Could he be the next great 5th round pick cornerback drafted by the Seattle Seahawks? I think I know of a guy who's drafted in the 5th round who turned out pretty well for the Seattle Seahawks. But Kobe Bryant has played nice, Michael Jackson. The Seahawks have a lot of celebrities at the cornerback position. But now they've activated the rookie from 2021, Tre Brown. He is activated and on the 53-man roster. In a corresponding move, they of course released cornerback Sidney Jones. And we know Tre Brown had a rough start to his career, was immediately placed on injured reserve, but then made his debut in week 6 against the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2021. He's played a total of 5 games and has had 3 starts and only allowed a catch 47% of the time. Head coach Pete Carroll says he's excited to get Tre Brown back on the field. But you're getting great play from Kobe Bryant and Michael Jackson. It's going to be interesting to see who the Seahawks sub out for Tre Brown. And we know the Seattle Seahawks are not afraid to rotate cornerbacks, so perhaps we'll see that happen when they face the Las Vegas Raiders after their bye week this week. But the Seahawks are coming off a devastating loss in Germany to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And really, the problem was the offense having a slow start in that first half. The Buccaneers were able to stop the run, and Geno Smith was hesitant to make decisions with the football, and at certain times it just looked like nobody was open. And the Seahawks started clicking like crazy in the second half, but by then it was already too late, and the defense of Seattle got completely gashed in the run game, and Brady and the Buccaneers were able to close it out. And Bruce Irvin, who's been getting more reps than other outside linebackers like Taylor and Maffei, had some criticism about the field in Germany, so Bruce Irvin definitely doesn't want to go back to Europe anytime soon. But it does suck that the Seahawks had to play on this type of field. They had to travel this far. You risk injury, you risk all kinds of problems, and it takes a courageous player like Bruce Irvin, a guy who's probably in his last few years who has nothing to lose, to speak out against this. But this bye week comes at a perfect time for the Seattle Seahawks. You are tied with the 49ers in the division, and then you get Tre Brown back. You're giving him time to rest, getting some time to see if he's ready to go. Question is, could Geno Smith continue to impress? Like we talked about earlier, the offense struggled in the beginning in that game against the Bucs, and that's really why this team lost. But Geno Smith started making some plays with his legs, started refusing to lose in the second half of the game, and if this guy slips towards the second half, everybody's going to forget about all that great stuff he did in the first half of the season. So Geno Smith, for himself, for his career, has to step up in the second half of the stretch, or everybody's going to think that this guy was just a fluke for a few games. Even if the Seahawks do not go deep in the playoffs, as long as they do better than the Denver Broncos, and as long as the Denver Broncos continue to crumble, the Seahawks win this season, getting a high draft pick and then perhaps making the playoffs. And you got Russell Wilson continuing to embarrass himself out there in Denver. Just like Tyler Lockett pointed out earlier in the season, they're using the same calls and same audibles over there in Denver that they use in Seattle. And this dude, Russell Wilson, keeps on using audibles, keeps on using code words from the Seattle Seahawks, and his other guys in Denver do not know this language. At a certain point, Russell Wilson, it's just like with an ex-girlfriend. You gotta move on. You gotta take the next step. You gotta get the phone in the contact list and just delete the number so you don't have to look at it again. But Russell Wilson appears to be clinging to the past here and clinging to his ex, Pete Carroll. But the Seattle Seahawks learned a key thing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is that you need Kenneth Walker, and you need Kenneth Walker to get going. And when he does not get going, Geno Smith becomes one-dimensional and the offense starts to crumble. The offense starts to fall apart. And it's really crazy that this rookie has become so important for the Seahawks offense. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they've had a great defense for some time, found a way to shut this guy down. Kenneth Walker picked up 17 yards, the lowest he's had all season when he's rushed for more than 10 attempts. So Pete Carroll's going to need to grab his offensive line, grab his blocking tight ends, and figure out how this does not happen again. Fortunately for the Seahawks, they're going up against a Raiders defense that, to be honest, has done pretty poorly. But they still have a young secondary, and do not be fooled by the Raiders record. Derek Carr and Devontae Adams will be able to carve these guys up unless players like Uchenna Nwosu and Bruce Irvin get pressure on the Raiders quarterback. We'll see how the Seahawks do now that they have fallen to the Buccaneers. Let me know your record prediction for the Seahawks in the comments below. This is a brand new NFL channel covering content for teams like the Seattle Seahawks. Make sure you like this video if you haven't already and subscribe to this channel for more NFL content. My name is Wi-Fi Willie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.